um, whatever happens that created the forgetting, in the next breath, the realization is there. And then it's just seen for what it is, and it's gone. There's no
Perfect.
getting caught, no getting caught in whatever it was. There's no, as I say, it's just no biggie. It's just like, oh, breathe out, carry on.
So that's perfect if it's like that. Something to observe for all of us, not only for Leslie. Let's just make sure if it is like that, this exactly this full embrace, no biggie of my forgetting coming to awareness. Let's just make sure that there is no commentator that verifies the process. Meaning, in the past, before self-knowledge, so to speak, in the game of ignorance and self-knowledge in context, we had this great power of telling ourselves that it's all good. How are you? Great. How are you today? Wonderful. And today, super. And tomorrow, I'll be great. I'm always great. Just saying. We know that. We have that power to tell ourselves how we want it to be, whatever it is. We can use the mind, so to speak, the mental faculty is in the hierarchy of consciousness, having more authority than the feeling faculty in most cases. So we can, and we have all applied this power to a big extent in our lives, to use that power to tell ourselves how we would like it to be and to not feel how it really is. That's why there is such a huge conflict in humanity between body and mind, between thinking and feeling. Why the body is saying one thing and thinking is saying a total different thing very often in our experience. Because the mind has been used in a way to tell ourselves how we would like it to be, like I'm good, or it's all good, while it actually isn't. And maybe we cannot because we live in a society and we have to pretend and la la la, and we cannot be honest as we are here in our friendship to what is really going on. So this power, and this we have to observe, to comment on the totality, because the totality is in this welcoming awareness, just as you say, Leslie, no biggie. It just sees what is, but it's so self-confident, it doesn't need to tell itself how it is. This is something to observe. Is there still a commentator commentating how it is now for me as awareness? Now I know that everything is welcomed in awareness, and I tell myself, okay, it's all good again. Just example. Or, and this is this thought that I mean that disappears, or no biggie, just as Leslie says, boom, I see it. And this is in a way the humility in the mind, having accepted the authority of consciousness. The mind, having applied the authority over the emotions, has to accept the authority of consciousness, that it's the true ruler of its body-mind experience. And in this humility, it's like, okay, the light of awareness is here, and this is this trust I was speaking about in the beginning. I can get out of the way. I don't need to be part of the process. Exactly as you say, Leslie. I'm not part of the process anymore, and not part of the process means I don't need to tell myself a story also about the process. I'm happy shining quietly. And that we can see in our own minds, in our own process, and that we can particularly see when we're relating to people, right? Can we take it, our stupidity that we all have, and then like, okay, now I see, and that's it. I'm happy seeing it because the seeing is consciousness and done deal. Or is there the need to put it in a box mentally again? And that is the danger for all of us when we see and we recognize, okay, there was a moment of forgetting, or there is this momentum that we always speak about, this momentum of ego is playing out, to really let it fade out, so to speak, the ignorance. It's important to not re-engage with the ignorance, because awareness doesn't have that need to re-engage with its own illusion. It just sees it, no biggie, and that's it. Game over. But there might be in our observation this tendency to, we can see how the ignorance tries to come back through the back door and kind of comment the process. It's like, okay, you see, or it comes into the timeline and identifies again as this person, or I'm so much more aware than I was last week, and wow, now I'm really applying the awareness so wonderfully. And here the timeline person is kind of real again, and ignorance has sneaked in without even us noticing, possibly. Commenting, verifying my own self-awareness process is usually not something that awareness finds very necessary. Which is no problem. If it happens to any of us, can we then see that equally, openly, humbly,